Now, Charlie, we have a policy when we have used, at NBC and MSNBC, when we have used a Pete Souza photo, we say the White House released this photo.
Yes.
But to the average viewer, they're just seeing the photo. They're not necessarily hearing that caveat every time we put it out there. And so that is, you know, it is a version of propaganda. And people hate that word, and that's like, and I'm not trying to say, but that is what this can come across if taken too far.
Propaganda is a strong word, but I think the viewing public needs to be aware that when they're seeing a White House photograph, it's basically a visual press release, you can call it. They have to understand that this is the view that the White House wants you to see. When you have independent journalists, independent photographers covering the president, you're seeing many different views.
Right. So, and the hope is we're trying to do the view of what we think the event is.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what you guys are trying to show.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Brooks, do you think news organizations, do you think, for instance, and this is an internal debate we've had, should we stop using White House photographs in real time? Like basically say we will not use a White House photograph that is, we'll wait a month or wait 2 weeks, you know, make it so that it is truly historical?
Well, I think there's a big difference between, say, the photograph of bin Laden in the Situation Room.
That's something you guys never would have been invited to.
Right.
Okay, and that is sort of a...
Right. And there's events like that, 9/11, when it's, you know, clearly historic events. The presidential photographers are supposed to be historians, and there are certain times when you absolutely cannot get independent press into the room, into the Situation Room for matters of national security and clearance. But that's very different than some of the photographs you showed in your opening segment. And what we have noticed, what the press photographers that cover the White House regularly have noticed, is that we have significantly less access to this president than previous presidents. And at the same time, there's been a very large increase in the number of photographs that they are releasing. And we're not talking about bin Laden 9/11 events. We're talking about daily coverage.
And we're also not talking about golfing with Tiger Woods either.
No.
Right? I mean, I know people being like, it's like, that's not what we're talking about either. This is sort of lunch with Hillary Clinton.
Exactly.
That was an important political event.
Right.
It mattered, you know, their body language. You know, they were going to make sure a photo that was released had perfect body language. You guys might have captured something different.
We're talking about being able to photograph the president doing his official duties as president, meeting with lawmakers, cabinet officials.
Since we've all brought this up and brought attention to it, has it gotten any better in the last couple of weeks?
I would say we always make requests to the White House press office for access, even if it says closed press. During the shutdown, there were some meetings that he was having with Democrats and Republicans that we would ask for access, and at times they have accommodated us for a photo spray, as we call it. But you know, it's a continual fight. We've been fighting this from the very beginning, so hopefully people will become more aware.
This is going to continue to need more.